Hello Bitzbox, Craig from Bitzbox.co.uk here with another conversion video. So in this one I'm going to take the Serberys Raiders. They have a new cavalry miniatures from the Admech, and I'm going to combine them with the 3 Guild Outriders and / Pistoliers set from Age of Sigmar. So I've seen people talk about wanting to do this conversion as soon as they saw the Serberys Raiders, and myself included as well. First thing I saw when I saw these really cool sort of cybernetic horses was how cool would they be on like a sort of steampunky Age of Sigmar unit. So yeah, I'm going to just get both kits, only use parts from the 2 kits, try and combine them and see how compatible they are together. So yeah, and let's hit the desk and have a look. Okay, so I have one of the awesome new steeds from the Serberys Raiders. You can see I've chopped off some little bits, I've left some bits off there. So the idea is to make a set of 5 Pistoliers / Outriders for the Age of Sigmar using some mechanical steed parts as well. Now you might think that you could simply stick the Pistoliers on top of these, and you only get 3 of these in a box, so you have to buy a couple of boxes to have a squad. So it's a bit more expensive, but their legs also don't really fit on the saddles too well. And I've spent the last sort of half hour doing bits of filing, so I've been filing some of the insides of here, little bits here, I had to cut some bits there, and that's pretty much given me a sort of fit. Looks good from the back, but from the front there's still a bit of a gap, which is a bit strange. But I think we can live with that. So yeah, so they don't go on as easy. You'd think it would be quite simple because their legs do appear to be bigger than the Admech ones, but they just don't stretch out far enough. I don't think the angle's right how they sit either. These will sort of go on like this, so they don't really touch this bit here, what sort of comes out. So I think that's whereas like these going right over it. So I think that's the issue. I've filed down a bit of this flat, but if I go too much it's going to start looking a bit silly, but I mean, you could do a bit more. Although I don't think that's really the issue, but I thought I'd show you that first, just in case any of you guys are watching have sort of got that idea. I don't want you to buy a couple of boxes and then be disappointed that you can't do it, because as I say, you need about 3 boxes in total, 1 Pistoliers and 2 of these. I mean, it can be done, just a lot of filing on the way there, but I really can't bother to do any more filing. As I said, if you get it on the angle right, it does look okay from the back. So I'm going to get him glued on. Now this champion I'm just going to make as a normal Pistolier champion. I'm not going to do, oh, come on glue, I'm not going to do any sort of conversions on him. I'm going to have to unclog this glue. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll get him built. He's literally just going to be the bits from the Pistolier champion on the horse. And then what we're going to do with the rest of them is we're going to mix and match. And actually saying that, one thing I might do, I'm tempted to give him a bionic leg. So I'm thinking of just chopping that below the knee, using a bit from the Serberys Raiders, so he's got a little bit of a bionic leg, to make him a bit more interesting. So I'm going to do that, but I need to unclog my glue by the looks of it, so... Okay, so this is what I've come up with. This cloak thing that comes with the Outriders set is a bit bulky, but you'll notice the head. So, bring it a little closer. I've actually used one of the Admech heads from the Serberys Raiders, and I've stuck a feather on it from the Outriders. That looks pretty cool. He's got a little bionic leg on the side there. Works okay. So, I mean, that's what you can do to simply just stick an Outrider on top of one of the horses, or steeds, mechanical steeds, whatever you want to call them. Used one of the heads there. And you could even use that as an Admech, give it normal Admech weapons if you want, just to mix it up a little bit. But what I'm going to do now is take the Pistoliers horses. Now what I really like is that these horses aren't that too different in size. They do come with these pieces on there, because I used to go on the old slotted cavalry bases, so they'll have to come off. But I'm using just a small cavalry bases that come with the Outriders here. But you'll notice, put them side by side. they're not too bad. I actually thought before I bought them that these guys were much bigger. Considering you get 3 in a box, and I think they're more expensive, so go figure. Yeah, so when you want to chop these off, what you want to do, you want to go either side of the foot, chop around like so, and then come in and chop them off. Normally with back feathers, there we go. Now it will be a bit of a pain to go on there, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually replace a leg or two with like using some of these mechanical parts, just so we have like a sort of cyborg type horse. And that's what I want to do on all of them, maybe even replace the heads on a couple. I think that would work okay. And change out bits like that, maybe change out the tail on 1 or 2. Although the tails on here are quite weedy, so maybe I won't do that. Doesn't really want to go together very well. But yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll show you it on one, and then I'll do some more on the others. So, to grab my screws, I'm trying to I don't need them ones. So I'll replace one of these front legs here, I think. I'm going to chop it off completely, so chop off like that. Gone. So committed now. And I'm going to take this leg off this sprue here. And quite simply, I mean, it doesn't even have to reach for the floor, but yeah, from that piece there, I would like to keep like just the bottom bit of this in if I can, so I'll chop round like so. Hopefully get round the other side. And then, yeah, hopefully that'll go on there somehow. Maybe I'll try and get the angle to match. And then we've got like this mechanical leg. So that needs to sort of go up at an angle. So yeah, I'll file it down, get it attached, get the horse together, see what that looks like. Okay, so that's what it looks like glued to the base. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Robotic mechanical leg there. I'm going to try putting a face on the other one, a robotic face. So yeah, I've chopped it off, I've left the ears on. I've got one here. Oh, come back. Got one of the heads from the Serberys Raiders. Chopped off the little sort of tubing and cut these ones down short. And essentially it'll sort of go on like that. I'm not 100% sure how sort of good it actually looks, but let's go with it. Something different. These are only just to see what can be done. And doing it this way as well, you do get a spare horse if you mess up. There's still 5 of these, so I don't know, we'll see. Might look a little bit long in the face. You could perhaps trim it down. I might do. So it could sort of stick so I can see what we're looking at. I mean, I'm thinking maybe take this bit off, trim it down a bit. I still want that sort of height that you get from these extra pieces, because these heads are slightly smaller than the actual heads of the horses. I was really surprised actually that these Pistoliers horses are actually bigger. So just file that down like that. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Glue it back on there. Because it was a bit messy, but I'm not really too concerned with all that. I mean, essentially this is a horse who's had a mechanical face attached to him, so I don't expect it to be too neat. It kind of works. If you're going for like a Blanjitsu or AOS 28 type thing. His heads look quite cool for something like that. Something weird, something different, kind of creepy in a way. Quite like it, not gonna lie. So of course very easy to put the Pistoliers on there. I think what I'm going to do is maybe see what else we can use. I only want to sort of really limit myself to these two kits, just to sort of see what we can do mixing and matching. So I'll have a look, see what's on the Cerberus kit sort of weapon wise, and then see what we can add. So I've got a couple of torsos and legs mounted to these horses, and I'm gonna use some weapons from the Serberys Raiders, just to show you how they fit onto these bodies, or if they do. So this is there's a carbine repeater, I think it's called. The mildly barreled one. So far so good. You get out of arm on there. That was pretty good. Pretty good. Should have put some glue on the hand. I think I'll have to do that. Otherwise that's going to move it back. That seems to line up okay. Also, I'm getting my face in the shot. Getting right in there. Yeah, it seems to line up pretty good. If I can put the hand actually in place. There we go. Cool, so yeah, let's see that goes on pretty well. So the torsos are probably roughly the same width. Just see the arms slightly out there, but obviously the horse's head gets a little bit in the way. So if you are using them guns, they'd probably have to be pointed up a bit like this one is. So that head's still looking pretty messy there. Yeah, I'm not too 100% sure with this head here. I think maybe it should have been a little bit more central. But, you know, I'm not really planning on using these for anything, but if I was, I'd probably add all sorts of cabling and whatnot there to hide all the messes. And this video is really just to show you the compatibility between the two sets, because I know I've had a lot of people say about using them. So I'm heating up the sword a little bit. So this cavalry saber from the Cerberus set I really like. It's very cool. So yeah, I'm doing another one with like a sword and a pistol, but that's fine. And go on, next one. You can see his arms look pretty good as well. Like they don't look too large or anything like that. You know, there's slight sort of robotic nature on like these ones, which I really like. But again, it sort of adds that sort of cyborg feeling. That's what clippers sort of trim the end of this barrel. A bit of flash on there. You can have that pointed up. Oh, I've got a bit underneath as well. This wasn't trimmed too good. There we go. Like so. Yeah, just a case of adding the heads on them, but yeah, I'm not going to make all 5 for this video, because I'll only be doing the same sort of thing, but you get the gist of it. Obviously you can put the heads on. I'm just going to use Pistolier heads. I really like them. Let's have one guy with a beard. I think he'd look quite cool with a beard. One thing I might do very quickly though is maybe see if we can maybe get some Admech. See how the Admech body fits on the Pistolier legs. That could be another thing we could look at. Just get his heads on. So I'll follow it out with the beard. And I think having that saber pointing forward of the pistol as well. That looks pretty cool for him. I mean, there'd probably be a couple of good pieces to use on your regular Outriders. So I really like him. Like quite well. for sure. And the other guy here, he's got that little robotic arm. You can see the focus, you can sort of see the gap on the torso, so not quite perfectly lined up, but not terrible. You could whack in a little bit of green stuff, and then no one will ever know. So let's just take a pair of these legs and have a look at one of the mech torsos, because I really like the torsos because they have that sort of shawl around their neck. It's really cool. I have a feeling though the way the legs are done will need a little bit of modification to these, so I'll just cut them off. I've got a couple of accessories to add to the horses as well we can do, but we'll just quickly do this. I want to come off. Okay. So you'll see from the torso, is that the right one? Oh yeah, it goes on like that. We've got the basically essentially got the crotch there, so that'll have to come off. Maybe just trim it down a bit more. Trim it right to the belt actually. I'll trim it right to the belt. Hopefully we can do it on this side. Okay, it's a bit awkward to get to because you've got these pouches in the way. But maybe I can sort of chop in a bit in there. Chop a bit around there, get a file in. A trusty file. And then that sort of goes on there, a bit narrower. But I think they would work. So yeah, you can sort of see that's sort of a size difference there. It's minor, but it's not terrible actually. It's not terrible. I do think these little pouches though might get in the way. They're almost sort of floating because obviously they're designed to go on the mech legs, so I am going to ditch them. And then that'll give you a better look. So not terrible, not by any stretch. So yeah, so if you wanted, you could make one using this sort of mechanical body with a little shawl. Now you probably wouldn't be able to use Pistolier heads, but there's only one way to find out, isn't there? Only one way to find out. You might be alright, it might work. I wouldn't use one with a beard though, because you don't really be able to see it in the head. Yeah, I mean he goes in, you don't see a lot of his face, but that's sort of the point, isn't it? Sort of cover up the bottom of his face. He's staying safe. So that's pretty cool actually, and then we'll chop that in and we'll put some Pistolier arms on him. Very tempted to make this horse up now. May not be that quickly. I might just have a regular horse for this dude. Arms. Do we have pairs? I can see a right arm, but not a left. I know why that is. Because the capes that these guys come with have the other arms, so you wouldn't be able to have the guns going across. I forgot about that actually. None of these other ones have the capes on. You can put the capes on if you so wish. But then you wouldn't be able to use the arms from the Serberys Raiders, so I'll just show you. They come with these cloaks and attached to the cloaks are the arms. So you could take the arms off, but it'd be a bit messy at the back. And I don't think there's any way it's going to fit on here. No, I mean you could probably chop around and get it on, possibly. Screw it. I'm probably not going to use this piece, so let's try it. Okay, so I apologise for this video running a little bit longer than I originally intended. This is probably not the cape probably what I use, but I probably wouldn't mind one with the arms sort of stretched, wrapped around, but I don't know, they all seem to look pretty similar. So you could get it on like that. You could get it on like that. But I think they're maybe meant to be more at that angle to be holding the gun. But if you wanted to have a gun in his hand like that and you wanted the cloak on like that, it would work. Covers up where the backpack would be on his back as well. A little bit messy there. I don't really like it over the shawl, but you know, it could work. So you could have one with a couple of pistols. Don't really matter. Let's just do that. I'm not really too fussed. So I know they look too big, these arms. They just look too big on them torsos. I'm not a massive fan of that. If I show you on the camera, you might want to just use the Serberys Raiders arms. So that's probably what I'd do. They just look a bit too big, them arms. They wouldn't really work too well. Bit of a shame. Let's have a look at the musician arm, see what that would be like. It looks a little bit smaller. Yeah, I think I could get away with that. I could get away with that. You can see it's a little bit on the large side, but it would work. I'm going to have to let them dry and neaten them all up and everything. So I'll do that. I'll get him a horse built, and then we'll end the video there because it's random. So this is what I went with this guy. Used one of the Admech arms on the side here, sort of pointing outwards. It's quite cool. And yeah, he's got the musician arm. Well, no, it doesn't look too bad. A little bit of gap there, but I can push him in, but he just keeps slipping them. It just keeps slipping out, so but it should fit on there. All right. But yeah, so he's a musician. Looks okay. I'm not sure if the whole Pistoliers hats work too well with them torsos, but they need cowboy hats. That's what they need. They need cowboy hats. Yeah, all in all, though, get them all in shot. They come out okay. So, yeah, I mean, the whole purpose of this video is to test out trying the two kits together. So if you're thinking of doing that, you can sort of see how well or how not so well they go together. I'll leave that up for you guys to decide. Personally, I think they're okay. I do love these mechanical steeds though for the Admech. I just want an excuse to use them. He looks okay. I just really don't like the cape much. This one, the head's a bit weird, but if you like I say, if you go for that sort of Blanjitsu look, I think you could get away with it, but it's really not super neat, and you can sort of see the gap on the side there. Probably should have centered it a bit more. I probably will try and take it off and center it, because I think it will work a little bit better if I've just done a better job on it. I've seen this guy, he's still drying a little bit, but and there's this guy. I just love the sword. I think the sword works brilliant with a set, so even if you don't want to do the sort of cybotic part mech sort of horse look, and even just getting the sword on its own doesn't really have any of that look to it. But I think the leg on the horse worked really well, and yeah, I'll probably make up another one of these. I don't know. I don't know what to do with them. I could use them for my Cities of Sigmar army. I don't know. A lot of these conversion videos for stuff ends up just sitting on my shelves, but yeah, anyway, this one's ran on quite long. I only want this to be a short one really, but it's probably not now. But yeah, let me know what you think. Hopefully it's just proved useful for anyone who's thinking of using the two kits together, or you just enjoyed watching it. Let me know in the comments, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and feel free to subscribe and leave any suggestions for anything you'd like to see in a conversion video down below. And I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. You can also click that bell icon to be notified when a new video has gone live on this channel. On the screen now are 2 more videos that you may wish to check out, and a link to our Patreon page also. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.